Welcome to The Actor's Choice, where the actors have a chance to talk about themselves and their careers. Join us now for the next hour as we explore the marvelous industry of acting through actors and actresses from today's exciting show business world. And now, here's your host, Ron Brewington.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ron Brewington, and welcome to The Actor's Choice. Our first guest today was the first A&R man at Motown Records. This man is Motown history. He's also a veteran songwriter and producer. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a dear friend, Mr. William Mickey Stevenson. William, thank you so much. Thank you, Mickey. Thank you. Good to have you here today, my brother. Good to have you here. First of all, where you come from?
Detroit. I was born in Detroit.
All right.
Raised in Detroit. Yeah.
I had to ask that question. That was one of my favorite questions. We get people who come from all over the world and gives us an opportunity to let people know. We talk to people from everywhere. But how did you get into the record industry, sir?
Well, my mother was an entertainer. She was a singer.
Her name?
Kitty Brown Gayle Stevenson.
Okay.
And we were singing. My brothers and I were doing like a trio at the age of my brother. We were like 7, 8, 9 years old in that order. And she would make sure that we knew exactly how to handle a song. So that meant constantly rehearsing, staying focused, that whole 9 yards. I learned that at an early age. And she took us to the Apollo.
In New York City?
In New York.
Yeah.
Now, being a singer herself, she was traveling with a guy called Todd Rode and his big band orchestra, and Sweethearts of Rhythm. There was a lot of ladies, musicians that were incredible. And we went in. She knew the guy at the Apollo, and she got us into the contest. Now, it was frightening because, you know, the guy with the pole, you snatched him off the stage. We saw him first, so that was it. Everybody got afraid. Well, we went in, and we absolutely won the contest. Wow. So that was amazing. And we were doing Mills Brothers songs then.
That's when music was good, huh?
Yeah, well, but it wasn't blues, you know, it was like a whole other ballgame. And so that I was into it from that point on. And then when my mother passed, I kind of tossed it out of my head, you know, because it didn't feel right for me. But a point about my mom, which is very interesting, when Dinah Washington came to Detroit to perform at the Flame Show Bar, that was the hot club there, my mother opened the show.
Okay.
And Dinah Washington said it's in her memoirs and also in the internet. Dinah Washington said to the owner of the show, the next time I come here to this town to work this Flame Show Bar, listen, I don't want to see no dog acts, no trampolines, and I don't want to see no Kitty Brown Gayle Stevenson.
That's cool.
So that got me into the business, and I got in and out. You know, I was in and out. And, yeah.
But in Detroit, in black music, there was a guy named Barry, not Barry. A lot of people call him Barry. His name is Barry, B-E-R-R-Y. Barry Gordy, who had this little fledgling record company. And you got involved with him. How'd you get a chance to meet him?
Well, I got involved before he had the fledgling record company.
Okay.
We met earlier. I mentioned the details of it in my book, but I'll give you a quick synopsis. We met at a barbershop.
Okay.
Benny Mullen's House of Styles. That's where you had your hair waved and curled and you know. Everybody in Detroit, if you were about something, you'd go to Benny Mullen's.
Gotcha.
And we met there. Yes. And he was on his way to Chicago to do a tune, or finish an album on Jackie Wilson. And me being a songwriter, I said, oh, this is my opportunity to get one of my songs to Jackie through Barry. So I said to him, you know, you're going to do Jackie Wilson. That's my favorite artist, man. I got some songs. And he said, okay, well, right now I'm going in to finish this album, but I heard about you, and we'll get together as soon as I get back. So I said, okay. And that's how we met. We had to hook up in the barbershop.
In the barbershop.
Months later, when he came back, he called me and said, I'd like to talk with you. Come over to the apartment. So I go over to his apartment, and I'm thinking, since he's a producer for Jackie, and I'm a singer and a songwriter, I got my songs.
Right.
So I got a plan of my own, right?
Got a plan. Yes.
We go in and we talk, and he said, "Let me hear your songs. You heard about your songs, you know?" So I started singing, 1, 2, 3, 4, get to about 5 songs, and he's still standing there. And he said, "You got any more?" Well, I got a briefcase full. I said, "Yeah." He said, "Let me hear some more." I said, another one. And then he said, "I like that one. That's good." He said, "You got some good stuff." So right now I'm feeling, this is my chance to be the next Jackie Wilson.
Right.
So I said, well, I got one that I want to do that I think we should open on my new first record. He said, wait a minute. I'm not talking about you recording a record. I said, what do you mean? He said that your songs are good, but your voice, ain't nothing happening. He used other words, but I thought I'd make it light for your audience.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I was ready to leave.
Yes.
I said, that's it. I don't need this. I grabbed my music. I'm heading out the door. He said, where you going? I said, I don't need this. I come to be a star. He said, I want you to be the A&R man for my company. I said, what is that? He said, A&R. You know, music and artists, and you're going to handle it. I said, A&R man for your company. I'm going to handle the artists and the music. I said, am I in charge? He said, yeah, you the A&R man. You got it. He said, we got to be honest now. It's got to be right. It's got to be good or we don't use it. So I said, okay, that's good. Can I record myself?
Why not? Microphone right there. Studio.
And he said, well, it's got to be good. So that's how we met. That's how we got started. That day, we made it on a handshake. I get into a lot more details, but when we made that move, when he first brought it to me, I turned and walked away. Right. And when he called me back, I remember my mom said to me, if you want to get into something, you got to go for it.
Yes, sir.
It's not always about money, about this, about that. It's about where your heart's at. Mm-hmm. And you'll never know if you will succeed if you never try.
That's true.
You're only thinking about it. Right. And I turned around and I said, okay, when do I start? Mm-hmm. And he said, you already have.
All right. That's one thing about Mr. Gordy. He don't play.
Yeah. That's the beginning.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Now, A&R again stands for?
Artists and Repertoire.
And Repertoire.
Yeah. And an A&R man's job generally is to find the artists, find the songs, the producers, put them together, and make music.
Wow, that's a heck of a job.
Heck of a job. And I had no skills at that. Mm-hmm. And why he picked me for that, I still don't know. The only way I see the sense of it, it was God's automatic appointment.
Okay.
All right. Just like it was his automatic appointment for Barry to build this company at a time in this country when it was at the worst time in history. Mm-hmm. Music brings people together.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, my feeling about the whole nine.
Okay. Well, let's take a look at a short video where Mr. Gordy talks about you and you becoming the A&R man, please.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Great.
As one of the architects of the sound of young America, he discovered musicians, he wrote hit songs, and he produced superstars. Mickey Stevenson, Motown's first A&R man.
Motown's 50th anniversary celebration was not about the stars, Diana, Stevie, Smokey, Lionel, the Temptations, etc., but about the people who made the stars, the unsung heroes. And Mickey Stevenson leads the list.
Mickey Stevenson is my brother. He has not received his props as someone who has contributed so much to the musical world. Mickey ended up becoming our first A&R director at Motown. Mickey went around to little clubs in Detroit and one by one gathered the guys who became the Funk Brothers.
The Funk Brothers created that unmistakable sound that launched 1,000 hits.
And we did not make hit records for white people. We did not make hit records for black people. We made hit records for everybody on the planet.
I think about the time that I came to Motown. The producers, as one we have here today, Mickey Williams Stevenson, who was one of the first people that I met when I came to Motown. Yeah, Mickey!
Mickey was the one who convinced Marvin to start singing rhythm and blues. And he and Marvin wrote this song called Stubborn Kind of Fella. I guess it was probably about Marvin, because Marvin was a stubborn kind of fella.
Mickey turned out to be the greatest A&R man ever. He wrote, produced, brought in musicians like the Funk Brothers, brought my attention to Little Stevie Wonder. He even brought in a pizza delivery guy who was a writer who wrote the biggest standard song we had, a song called For Once in My Life. His name was Ron Miller.
We were dedicated to getting the best out of those that we signed to this company. And that meant all of us. I'm talking about from the producers to the writers. We were working at our best to give them the best so they could be the best. It was a phenomenal feeling. It became a family-type feeling. That was, I guess that was part of the dream of Berry Gordy. We all bought into that dream.
All right, that is marvelous. The man said himself. Mm-hmm. You were there. How do you compare the A&R men back in your day to what you have now?
Well, it's kind of difficult because even though the title A&R meant artists and repertoire and all that wonderful stuff, when we started, it was more than that.
Okay.
I became a friend, a confidant, a psychologist, whatever it took to get the artists to do the best that they could do. Okay. And they had, we were all young and from, less than middle class homes.
Let me get 'em.
So the fight was to build confidence. And where I got the idea of making that happen, I have no idea, other than God's gift.
Amen.
Like I'm telling you, I had no idea. I didn't come with a plan to do this. I just, when I saw an artist and they had something, but I saw also the doubts and fears of being what they wanted to be, I would try to find out, how do I get this guy to get past that point and get that great sound in his voice, or write that wonderful song? So I went at it like that, and I end up, from lunches to dinners to talking and find out what his real problems are or her problem is, and that sort of thing. So it got into a whole other place. So to compare that with what's going on today is kind of hard to do. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. We became a family.
Yes.
Motown became a family, and we were concerned about each one. And how and why, you know what I mean? I would get calls at 1 o'clock in the morning, and I know, what's the matter? This is happening, that's happening. Can I talk? I said, okay, start talking. It cost me a few wives, you understand?
Goes along with the job, they say.
Goes along with the job. But, I'd be a doctor, I'd be whatever it took, Sometimes I'd get dressed and go over and say, come on out there. Let's you got a session tomorrow, your career's growing, you can't fall back this way, you can't take one step up and 2 steps back. You got to keep going forward. Right. And this was constantly going on. And it got to be part of my makeup, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I enjoyed it, don't misunderstand me, because when I heard that artist deliver that song, or write that tune, or hear that band play that music, everything that brought it on that I didn't like disappeared, and only how great it was appeared. You follow what I'm saying?
Follow what you're saying.
Okay.
Right.
So I was getting little rewards as I go, see, and that kept me going. All right, and I'm sure others, you know.
Because you took people who were just average people and made household names out of them.
Well, me and the machine, you know, I did auditions maybe 20, 30 people 2 or 3 times a week. I wrote about me and some guy from William Morris. He said that Mickey Stevenson was Simon Cowell. He named the 3 people on as judges, all in one person. Because I didn't know how to audition. All I knew was, let me hear your song. And you start, well, I need a piano. I said, next, let me hear your song.
Right.
He said, what do you mean? I would say, come here, watch this.
Color, yes.
Oh, baby, I love you. Why don't you? Now, if I can sing for you without a piano, and you come to an audition and you can't sing, you ain't ready yet. Next. But I learned that that's not the way you handle it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? That took time. You know, it took time to learn that you got to give people an opportunity. You got to, they come with fears and all that. So I got to the point that I would not like to stay all day just to audition. I would try to find ways to get away. Right. Because I would hear so many bad voices, so much bad stuff. Yes. It was kind of bringing me down. Right. But then someone would walk in, where did this person come from? Made the whole week, just like in the music, made the whole week disappear and wonderful. You know what I mean? And so that was the greatest part of it.
Diana Ross, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, all these great, Lionel Richie, the Commodores, all these great names.
Yeah, well, the Commodores came after, you know, that we were rolling by that time.
Yes.
But say like the Stevie Wonder was a magic story. And the Marvin Gaye, dealing with him was also a magic story. Okay. He was already singing jazz. Okay. And when Barry brought him to me, and he said, look, man, I want to hit on this guy. I said, BG, we don't jazz. It's less than 15% of the market. We're doing fine. He said, I didn't say a jazz hit. I said a hit. He knew how to challenge me, you know. Barry had the gift, which I think is his greatest gift. I wrote about that in my book, too. I think his greatest gift was he knew how to make you want to do what he wants you to do. That's a special talent in a leader. A leadership talent. Oh yeah, definitely. And a person like myself and others, you know, you gotta make me want to do it. Now, once it's a challenge, I'm gonna show you how it works. You know what I mean? Yes. So when Marvin's standing there and our first meeting, I had to figure out how do I get this guy to sing some R&B.
Yeah, not King Cole, not stuff like that, not Frank Sinatra.
It ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen, yeah.
Even if he sung it good, we wasn't gonna get it on the radio.
Gotcha.
So I said, okay. I knew he was a writer. Okay. Because in some of the songs that he brought in, the lyrics were really saying something. So I said, okay. I told him, I said, man, why don't you write with me? Let's write for some of the artists in the company. And he said, okay. Man, that'd be a great idea. We get to know each other better. I said, no problem. Marvin was in his mind I was going to do a jazz album, some kind of better jazz album than the ones he was doing. I had no intentions of doing a jazz album. So we started writing songs together. And I would sing a line. Say I'm doing a song for the Marvelettes or somebody. I would sing a line, my line. Then he would come real smooth and say, no, you can't sing like that, man. You got to stay in the same mode that I'm in because you'll mix the artists up. So then he had to go to church. I go to church, he go to church. We kept building and putting the song together. We had about 3 or 4 songs we would work on. Now, one day, I took everything was on recording. We had a recorder in every room to work with. Wow. Because if you thought of an idea, you better put it down. Yeah. My thinking is, and has always been this way, great ideas, once they're out there in the air, and anybody can tune into them.
That's right.
Now, so if it comes to you don't want, and it'll disappear. Yes. You better write it down or tape it down. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Some people wake up in the morning in the bed, get up and say,
right, exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? At any rate, I took the tape and I clipped all of my voices out and closed his up. So when he came in that day, I said, I want you to hear something. I pressed the button. And he heard himself saying consistently through the song the way we were writing, see, with the soulful sound. Wow. And he said, that don't sound too bad. I said, sound too bad, man. That's great. I said, I tell you, man, why don't you do this song? I said, if you do this song, it'll take me off the hook with Barry, and I'll do an album on you. He said, you'll do that, William R.? I said, if you help me, I'm going to help you. And you listen to yourself. He said, okay. I said, now, anything about the song that you don't, it's not working for you, I'm in the studio with you. I'll just sing that line, and then you sing like I did. Mm-hmm. He said, okay. So we go in. Well, of course, we had a couple of places I had to give him a shot at the line. Mm-hmm. But once I sang it, of course, when he sang it sounds 10 times better than me. So it got to the point that he was like rolling with it.
Yes.
We finished the song, and I gave it to Barry. He put it out. Bam. That's it. So he come back to me and said, okay, man, what about the album? I said, Marvin, we got to do one more because you can't.
You're tricky.
You got to have a follow-up. You can't just do that to the people. They like you.
Oh, man.
So that's how, by the time we hit the fourth song, he said, don't say nothing to me, William R. Don't say nothing about his jazz album. But I did do a jazz album with him. But it got him into a role that was incredible. But like I said in my book, I break it down really, because we had moments that we had to get together. And Barry said, how'd you do that? I said, you don't want to know. You don't want to know.
What was your feeling when you heard he died?
It hurt. And I don't like really thinking about it because his gift, he had Marvin was an introvert. And in his silent moments, he was boiling with things that he wanted to say and do.
Yes, sir.
As a man, as a black man. And he really, and if you catch him at the wrong moment, he'll wear you out with that conversation too.
Gotcha.
Because he felt caged, you know what I'm saying? So, and throughout some of his songs, other than the love songs, which, the sexy love songs, but some of the other lyrics of his other tunes, he expressed himself. And I thought, to me, it was a loss.
Yes.
Or we lost something there. Because a younger artist would have had more to go for, more to venture for, other than street songs and stuff that things went into. No offense about all the music. I love a lot of this music, and some of it I do not like.
Gotcha.
I won't lie to you. But if you got to have models to go by, that is important. If you got the wrong models, then you go that way. If you got good models, you go the right way. I love when I see great artists speak other than just sing the song, so you can get where their hearts are.
Yes.
Because the younger people will follow something other than the song. Song brings the attention. I feel that when an artist, no matter who they are, once they get the power to draw the audience, there's supposed to be something else you should be telling them other than how great I am.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? My theory. That's mine.
Like your theory, like your philosophy. Yeah. I never met Marvin Gaye. As much as I've done with and for him, get him a star on the Walk of Fame, stuff like that. Never met the man.
Yeah, we became brothers. We're very, very,
I wish
very
I'd met
close.
him. His good friend Kitty Sears is a dear friend of mine. And she tells me a little bit about him every now and then. She'll say a little bit something about him. Yeah. But I just wish I had met him. I knew his brother Frankie, and I knew his sisters, and I knew his mother, but I never met him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Smokey Robinson.
That's my brother.
That's your brother.
Yeah. Very honest, very giving, more than people would know. I mean, here's a guy who'll take his money, go to a church in a whole other town, speak to the audience, not about music, but about life, overcoming obstacles, get on the plane to fly back, and nobody will know that he did it. I mean, he doesn't make a scene about, I'm going up here and speak. He just does it because he wants people to know. I love that about that brother. Here's a guy that'll sign every autograph, no matter how long it takes. He won't leave the theater until he signed everybody that asked or took a picture with whoever was standing there. And so then some artists, once they finish their show, they're out of there. But he's not like that. And I told him, I said, God blesses you And so I said, you ain't going, no problems with you, because you do the same thing all the time. You're humble,
Yes.
and you're covered.
Yeah. He was multi-talented. He was a songwriter. He was with the Miracles, of course.
Oh, yeah.
You know, all the things that he did all these years.
And a great producer.
Yeah. Great
Oh,
producer.
yeah. Great producer. I could always count on him when I ran across a problem. I got to have another song when they started to say, Smokey, why don't you give me a tune? I got to make it in a meeting in 2 weeks now. I don't like nothing I'm hearing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You had the pleasure of working with a lady by the name of Kim Weston. Can you show her picture, please? Kim Weston. Okay, pretty lady. Can you tell us about that?
Kim Weston. I married Kim Weston. So Kim Weston became Kim Weston Stevenson.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. She was a wonderful wife. I'm the problem of all my divorces. I had a few of them, of course, because I like the music. I like creating, and that's a driving force for me. Mm-hmm. But Kim, she had a voice. I still got one too. That's it's just powerful.
Wow.
And she was a soldier too in the civil rights fight in her system. Mm-hmm. She was
an activist.
Oh God. She'd stand on stage right before a song or right after a great audience, give her a great applause, then she'd give them a speech. I say, you can't do that,
her?
Kim.
Is that her?
No, that's Mary Wells.
That's Mary Wells. Oh, my God. It looks... my bad.
Yeah.
My bad. I thought that... and I picked that myself. Smack me on the hand. Smack me on the hand. I know we all look alike, but smack me on the hand. Yeah. She was political aspiration, things of that nature.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, she was a very good speaker, too, so people... Mm-hmm. She would actually hold her audience,
wow.
When she left Motown, she went with Al because the two of them would go around and do speeches I would be afraid.
Al Bell from Philadelphia.
Al Bell of
Philadelphia. Was that Al Bell? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, put them two together. Mm-hmm. And the civil rights movement, you got a problem because they'll wear you out.
Wow. Okay, you have all these famous singers. Can you tell us about the process from the beginning of the song being written to the end of the song? How was it released on the Motown label?
We had a meeting every week called Quality Control.
Quality Control.
And only a few of us were in that meeting.
Okay.
And there we would judge the product.
Mm-hmm.
My job, of course, as A&R man, I had to bring the product to the meeting.
Yes.
And say if the sales department want a song on to Marvin or Temps, or it's time to release a record, I had to have this product ready. So my writers and producers, I would give them a time limit to bring me the product.
Okay.
And I would go and walk in every room and listen to them while they are creating the product.
Gotcha.
Now, the good part about the family concept is this. If you were Holland and Dozier writing, and this guy was Smokey over here, and somebody's in another room, Norman Whitfield writing, I can walk in a room, and if I heard something was not clicking, I could tell you about it. You'd fix it on the song.
Okay.
You could walk over in this room and hear somebody else, and you say, man, why don't you put a better hook on that song? And they fix it. It was not like, don't tell me what to do. It was just the opposite.
Gotcha.
Because they respected all the talents of each producer and each writer. So therefore, everybody hits a wall, what I call, you hit a place where you can't get over it, something's stopping you. And that can happen at any time you're creating. And someone that you respect their ability walk in and say, yeah, man, why don't you do this? And you say, oh, he just removed the wall.
Yeah. Yes, it is.
And sometimes they would even give that person credit as a writer for that little moment because that took them out of that place.
Yes.
Well, that's an understanding that you gotta have love in that.
Yeah.
Love in the art, love in the cause, and all that. So we had that going on constantly, 24 hours a day. We would start in the morning and be producing and writing all day, all night, because everybody loved what they were doing. Big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Yeah.
And with that happening, we could take the song. When they finished my product, I would take it into the meeting. And now we'd play these different songs, and we'd vote on which one should go out or what's wrong with the one that we like.
Yes.
Maybe the lead should be a little higher. Maybe the bass should be a little deeper. Maybe the drum should be.
Yeah.
So they say, okay, I would make these notes, and I have to have this song for the next meeting finished. Now, here's the wonderful part. I would come back in for the next meeting with the old one that I had, the old mix, as we call it, and then the new mix that we had to fix.
Gotcha.
Now, we'd play the two of them. And Barry and I, we start betting.
Yeah.
Which is the best one? Forget all that talk. Put your money where your mouth is. So we'd bet $500 to $1,000. Now, in betting, I would trust Smokey and the sales manager who's got to sell the record. Everybody else in that room, they can't say nothing because they all be kissing, trying to get over.
Yeah.
You, as Smokey, would want that to be a great record because you want everything to be right.
Sure.
You got to sell that record, so you're going to tell the truth. You're not trying to make Barry look good and all that, right? We put it down.
Gotcha.
And sometimes I would win, sometimes he would win. But what happened was the song would be great. That would come out of that whole thing.
Yes.
And we did this constantly, every week.
Wow.
Sometimes I'd run late. Sometimes I'd have to take this song back 3 times. We loved the song, but it still wasn't quite right.
Yeah.
Sometimes I would take it off of that person and put it on that artist. That was the key. Wrong singer.
Yeah.
You got it?
Got it.
So I'm giving it to you in a quick dialogue, but
Gotcha.
a lot of work went into that. But a lot of joy went into that.
Oh, yeah.
So if I would take a song from you and give it to that person, obviously I was loved by some and hated by some.
Yeah.
But I would make up for that person by make sure they had another record coming.
Yes.
You know, never left you out there by yourself. You know what I mean? So I was known for doing that.
So how do you feel when you hear one of your songs on the radio?
Turn it up! Turn it up!
Next question. Later in your career, you started producing shows and plays, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had about 10, 15 nominations, NAACP nominations.
Wow.
I won a lot of awards. You know.
Right.
Well, not me personally, but the artists in my shows
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I had Forrest Whitaker, kicked him off. Oh man, I can go down the line. It's just some of the names.
Gotcha.
I wrote them all in the book. Though.
In the book.
And
We'll
I
talk
started
about
them
that
at
book. Yes.
Inner City Cultural Center.
Mm-hmm.
When I came into the city, I got a director named Cliff Rockmore
Yes.
from Detroit.
Oh, they call him Rock. Yes. No
He
more.
called me and said, "Man, would you write a song? We got a play going here. Would you write a song for us?" You know, because I said, "I don't write show songs. I write." He said, "Man, come on, man, you got to do this."
Right.
He said, they would love to see you over there just to give us a hand.
Right.
Well, I said, I went over there with him just to get him off my back. And when I saw all these young people in there working and writing and acting, and I said, "Oh man, had that family feeling
Yes.
again."
Yes. Yes.
So I wrote one song, then I wrote 2, then I wrote, and I learned more about theater and stuff from them than they learned from me.
Right.
And I got to the point that I would help finance the place to keep it going. And I did Showgirls, I did Swan, I did The Gospel Truth, I did Color Me Dorothy. I wrote those shows. But I learned from them how to do that.
Right.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
And right now, I got a couple of pieces going out. I'm working with
Okay.
from what was the city I went to?
Nashville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been running around
That's
like
okay.
crazy.
Yeah.
I went to Nashville and they wanted one of my shows to come in and say, "Please bring a show in here, bring a show in." So I'm going to do that. I'm going to put it together.
You've received a lot of awards over your career, but I understand you got one coming up. Was it August the 16th or something going to happen?
Yeah, it's the Rhythm and Blues Award out of Detroit.
Hall of Fame?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Mm. You also wrote a book too, didn't you?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
The A&R Man. And I wrote it, I'm doing very, very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote it
Oh, yeah, there it is. There it is. Yeah, okay, yeah.
I wrote it not like normal books. I wrote it like we're talking.
Okay.
That's weird. That's weird.
Gotcha.
And I got the idea. I was trying to. I've never written a book before. Written plays and shows, but never written a book. And what happened was when I first started writing the book, I had professionals look at it, and they would say, "Oh, you can't say it like this," and "Oh, you can't say that. Here's the way it should be done." And all of a sudden, my whole story started changing. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, "How much I owe you?" Okay, I'll pay them off. I tried another one. I got about 5 of them, and they were all saying the same thing. So I said, "Forget the book." And my daughter, my daughter Ashley, she just passed. She said to me, "Daddy, write like you talk." So I said, "But they say that's not the way you should write a book." She said, "They're not you, and you're not talking to them. So write like you talk." So I started that route. I started writing like I talk. And if I wrote a line in the book and I said, "If you don't understand it, let me explain it to you this way."
Gotcha.
so I went that way, you know. And when I finished, I started getting some incredible reviews on the book. And I owe that to my daughter. Yeah, she really stayed with me.
And please, we'd like to dedicate today's show to Ashley. Ashley Stevenson. Yes, she was a young lady. God took her early.
Yes, God took her early.
Yes, He did. Yes, He did.
Yeah.
How can I get my hands on the book? I want that book. How can I get it?
You can get it from Amazon.
Okay.
It's on Amazon, and it is. And when you read it, and you like it, send in a review.
Okay.
If you don't like it, don't mention it.
Okay.
No.
All right, I won't do that. He's a leader. You're a leader. When you're an A&R man, you're a leader. After you left Motown, you gave yourself a new career. You started a record company. Tell us about that, please, sir.
Yeah, I had MGM offered me a deal, and I made that deal with them with Clarence Avant and I. Clarence Avant, he was very sharp, but they loved him. And he said to me, because at first I said, forget the record business. Clarence said, "Come on, I'll be your partner." And, you know, because I didn't want to deal with the ins and outs of the situation with the people. Not the artist, the business part. And so Clarence said, "I'll handle that, and you just stay with the creative end." So we hooked up. And it was going along very well. But and they gave me a good deal financially, like $1 million some odd dollars. What happened was, in that deal, they had other plans, MGM. And I wrote about it very clearly in the book. But what happened was, they were really out to sell MGM.
I see.
And bringing Mickey Stevenson from Motown there only made the stock more important. And they did sell MGM after I was there, not too long after I got there, and built the MGM Grand Hotel in Las Vegas, closed it down. But the good part is I got to keep all my product, which is today very valuable.
Yes. Then your music is being heard in Europe?
All over Europe. And we're working in China and Japan. Yeah.
You're traveling a lot these days.
I'm gonna slow down. Yeah, and I got to tell you, man, I really owe it all to Barry, because he saw something that I had that I didn't know I had, and it gave me an opportunity. People say, "Well, man, you did this, you did that." I said, had I not had the opportunity, it wouldn't have happened.
Right.
You got to start with that.
Right. Yeah, we tell people you have to recognize an opportunity when you see it.
Oh,
don't miss it.
Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
Mickey, how do you want to be remembered?
I like to be remembered as a giver, and that people, the young ones coming up, learn something from me and use it. And that thing is you must be willing to sacrifice if you want to win. Yes. It's not free. Nothing worthwhile is free. The sacrifice could be, you got to spend more time instead of out partying or whatever. You got to spend that time and study or work or stick with it. Yes. You cannot have it all at the same time. It don't work. Right. And I'd like for them to get that idea and use it, because we got some great talented people out here, man.
Yes, we do.
I mean, unbelievable.
Yes, we do.
Even in some of the rappers, some of those guys, some of the lyrics they come up with are incredible.
Yeah. I understand that Motown play, the musical is getting ready to open up again on Broadway?
Well, I don't know how soon, but it's going to open up again.
You've seen it how many times?
Oh, a number of times, a nummer of times.
You were in it, weren't you?
My character
is
in it. And I think, Barry did an incredible job, because he took control of, he used the same approach that he did with Motown, the record company, that he has done with the play. Now, the play is great. The music makes it great.
Yes.
So we don't want to kid ourselves about the story here, story there. It's not about that. It's about how did all these great songs. Listen, if they played every song, you'd be sitting in that play for about 3 hours. Yeah. So you can only get so many songs in there. And he tied a lot of them together to give you the hint. But the songs, that's what the show is about. Motown, the music.
The music.
Right.
Speaking of Motown, they say there are only 2 times when Motown folks even get together. One is a funeral, and the other one is Janie Bradford's HAL Awards, Heroes and Legends Awards, every year.
Oh, she has it every year.
Every year.
And everybody feels a part of back to the family thing again.
Yeah.
When they come with that feeling, you
Yes.
know. And to watch what she's doing with the kids is great.
Right.
Really great. Really
I love when they sing the employee song. The
we
Motown
are very,
employee song.
I used to hate that song. When they first started that song, I said, wait a minute, this ain't no movie. Singing that song, we are a very company working hard. I said, this ain't no movie. It just felt like, like the soldiers about to go off to war, and now they got to sing a company song to come together to go fight.
Yes.
And I'm saying, what is it? But as time went on, I started loving the song.
Yes.
I wrote about that in the book, too, because I got to tell you.
Who wrote the song, by the way?
I think Smokey and Janie.
Oh, my goodness.
But it was, I'm sitting there and they're singing, a hoorah song. Everybody get up and working hard from day. Well, you know what I'm saying?
As Mr. Gordy says, Motown forever. Motown forever.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's proven it. I got to say this. When Motown, to me, is one of the movements of the Lord, because he picked a city that made cars, not music. He picked writers to write great songs who can't write. What I mean by write notes of music. They wrote from the heart and the head. In a place, like I said, that built cars. A machine was built to warm the hearts of every color of people in the world. Came out of that place. Now, that's God's plan. At a time when this country was in one of it, more assassinations, riots, and stuff was going on in that time than any other time. Wow. And yet this music was growing and growing and growing and growing.
Wow. Give me Motown music anytime.
Anytime.
Anytime. Anytime. Mickey, I wish we had more time to talk to you. We got to bring you back here again, sir.
Yeah,
yes, we just got started on you.
When I come on over my show, Mona.
All right, sir. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Each year, the NAACP, the nation's oldest and largest and most widely recognized grassroots-based civil rights organization, presents a spectacular show right here in Los Angeles. It's a salute to black theater. The program is called the NAACP Theater Awards. Now, here to discuss the yearly event, we have a young man in the studio right now. He is the president of the Beverly Hills Hollywood NAACP, because he lets me know, don't call it NAACP, NAACP branch. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ron Hasson. Ron, thank you so much for taking a few times to come down today, man.
Thank you for inviting me.
My pleasure, sir. By the way, I do like your first name. You and I always tell each other
yes, we
like
do.
each other's first name. Mr. Hasson, I understand that you have an announcement to make. Please.
Yes, I do, and thank you for having me here so that I could make this announcement. We are doing this year, March the 6th, a press conference to announce the winners, a VIP press conference to announce the winners of our 2015 Theater Awards.
All right.
Now, this is really exciting to us, and it was a little bit of a pain for me because I really wanted to be able to do the big show that we've done in the past 20-something years. Yes. But through funding, we were not able to pull the show together in November when we normally do it, and do that grand show that we did. So some very good people in the community got together and says, well, Ron, we'll help you do a show because we want to be able to continue to keep theater and those actors, actresses, producers, directors, people of color who are a part of this, to keep recognizing them.
Yes.
It's important to our community.
Very important.
It's important to those individuals who strive to have this as an occupation, as a career, to be acknowledged and recognized by their own people.
Okay. So this is Sunday, March the 6th?
Correct.
At what time and location, sir?
It's going to be at the Nate Holden Theater. And it's going to be from the red carpet will be from 3 to 4. There's a red carpet, there's a reception, and then the awards themselves will be given out.
Oof.
Well, when I say the awards, the winners.
The winners. Okay.
Those individuals who have won in the plays. Now we have this viewing committee. I don't know if many of your audience people understand how we go about doing this. We have a viewing committee consisting of about 14 individuals who see plays. They see as many as 65 plays a year.
Wow.
So it's in some cases it's 2 or 3 plays a week. But they are viewing plays, evaluating those plays, and then selecting winners. So the first process in this is that the nominees, once they've finished their viewing season, then they begin to select the nominees in the various categories. There are some 12 categories that we nominate people in.
Okay.
Certainly in the theater world, you want to be able to nominate the choreographers and the music people and those that do the lighting. So we want to make sure that in all of those areas of theater that we are selecting nominees who have contributed to making that play a great success.
Indeed. Now, how do we get tickets for this event?
That's very good. We have 2 ways in which we're doing it, but the key is we have an online. They can call this number. I didn't bring my glasses, so we're gonna have to read these little numbers in here together.
Okay. For tickets, call area code 323-688-9573. That's 323-688-9573. All right.
And if there is
it's also on the website. Okay. And if you want to RSVP on email, it's NAACP Press Conferencers VP at yahoo.com. Again, that's NAACP Press Conferencers VP at yahoo.com.
All right.
All right.
Well,
I know this is going to go out to a lot of print people so they can get a chance to see it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. There's the logo, the Theater Awards.
Great. It is, it has been based upon comments that we get back.
Yes.
It's our Black Oscars.
Oh, yes.
It's our opportunity.
Yeah, they had the Oscars last night, and of course, what did you think about it last night?
You really want to know? Well, let me tell you this. We've met with Don, the CEO of the Academy Awards.
Yes.
And we've made a presentation to her in terms of what the NAACP sees as some changes that needs to occur.
Gotcha.
She was very accepting and willing to work with us in terms of some suggestions that we've made, consisting of diversity training, consisting of monitoring
of programs consisting of, in fact, being able to take a serious look at where industry is going in terms of their ability to place people of color in these positions that allows them to get a more diverse number of actors, producers, directors into the Academy and Academy Awards.
Right.
For example, one of the key parts that I think is very important for the Academy people to understand is 40% of their viewing audience is people of color.
That's right.
So when you have that many people of color looking at going to these movies, seeing your product, enjoying the fact that there are people like them in these various productions, but not seeing them receiving any awards, something is wrong.
Yeah.
And maybe not seeing any, but seeing few. Not really being able to understand the great talent of African Americans, of Latinos,
Yes.
of people of color that are out there who really should be deserving. Often what happens is people get into these academy positions and they get a little stale. You know, they've spent a long time getting to where they've gotten to, but they're really not producing anything of quality, but they've gathered a lot of friends.
Yes.
And it very well often may be that those friends of friends are the ones who get nominated, not necessarily for all the right reasons, from my opinion.
Gotcha.
But this, in turn, has a tendency to stagnate people of color and stagnate them in terms of their opportunities to move up within the ranks of these various productions, these very movie studios that are out there.
Yes.
I don't think we necessarily have to go out and create our own. I think we just have to be an intricate part of what is existing today.
Yes.
Because we have been the builders and the architects and the saviors of many of these motion pictures, recording studios, much of what has happened. We've been part of the architect that has made them happen. So we should be recognized.
And that's only because membership in the organization.
Certainly. But even more than membership, well, if you're talking about the motion picture studios, yes. I tend to every now and then go back to membership in the NAACP. Yes. But understand that individuals we want to, and very well may have to be more aggressive in our approach to get back to saying to these studios, you have to do something different. You have to be more inclusive in what you're doing and how you're doing it. Understand, in 1999, we had the hearings. We brought about changes, we being the NAACP and the congressional people and a number. We conducted hearings. The studios understood where we were coming from in our hearings. And as a result of that, all of the studios ended up having diversity people. Well, those diversity people are struggling a little bit now. Because time goes by and new people come in with new ideas and well, let's change your title, let's make you something else. And oh, by the way, you don't sit at the table with the decision makers. We'll tell you what to do and how to go about doing it. And that is a concept in big business that perhaps is not good for the creativity of those individuals of color who really are contributing and should more now than then be a part of the conversation, be able to greenlight projects and make it work for us as we look at television and motion pictures and whatnot, and can jump for joy that we see ourselves participating in some way. But we want the world to be able to acknowledge them just as the NAACP is acknowledging them.
And the NAACP does acknowledge Image Awards.
That's true.
Theater Awards. AXO.
Yes.
So many different awards and programs that you've got.
Yes.
And that's why you always ask people, and every time you go out and say, here's what we're doing. A lot of folks say, I didn't know you all did that.
Right.
Whose fault is that? That's not your fault. You get the word out there.
Well, the good news is if we can continue to create membership and the membership grows, every member becomes an ambassador.
Exactly.
Every member has the ability to be able to say, well, you know, that NAACP sent me a notice on their participation in voter rights.
Right.
They sent me a notice, and they have individuals that are looking at what's going on in the studios.
Gotcha.
And, you know, and the ands continue to come. Okay. But yes, it requires, let us say, a village of people who are concerned about their community to be able to speak up with a concert of voices, inclusive of the NAACP and each and every individual who is interested in seeing their community grow.
I understand that your branch board of directors want to take the theater awards to another level by merging the awards show with a festival.
Oh, yes. Well, what we did about 5 years ago is we created, and actually the theater world came to us and says, you know, a lot of good things would happen if you had a festival so that people could get an even greater understanding of theater. First of all, people do, in my opinion, do not understand that Los Angeles has a great theater community.
Yes, it does.
A great theater. Yes. And there are many, many. Our committee goes to 65 plays. They could easily go to 100 plays a season, a viewing season. That's a lot of plays.
Yes.
It's a lot of people writing about things. We often, and what is missed often, is people do not realize that many of the actors and actors that they see in these motion pictures and on television come back and hone their skills in theater.
Yes.
You know, they come back and do a piece here. You know, we've seen Denzel come back and do work. We've seen Lawrence Fishburne come back and do work. We've seen Angela Davis. Help me. Angela.
Oh gosh. I'm thinking about
Revolt Jordan out, and it'll come to me. You know. Yes. But anyway, there are many, many, many of these actors and actresses that comes back to theater and hone in on their skills and produce great projects, great product, which we as individuals should really begin to appreciate and understand theater to a greater degree. You know, we've grown out of, it's really interesting because every now and then you'll talk to someone and they'll say to you, oh, you know, black plays are the chitlin circuit. It's old, that's old school, you know. We went into produce an urban play. Understand, because urban plays is really what it's all about in today's culture. But historically, when you look back at theater, and we understand that theater at one point was a messaging system, that it was a way of being able to help people get a particular message, in some cases from a civil rights perspective, and others in just a growth, and others in transitions that was occurring. So theater had an important part in our lives. We should really be able to get out there and enjoy and want to keep theater, black theater, theater of color alive. In every area there, those regional theater houses, we need to be about trying to be a part of those, to really be able to take our kids there, to have them enjoy that aspect of life, to be able to appreciate. Because, you know, probably many kids at some point as they grow up are actors and actresses in their own fashion. So it could be a good way of helping them to understand that there's a career in this. You may have to hone it up and, you know, and make it a little better, but there is a career in this, you know, Johnny and Joy and whatnot. So
again, very quickly, because we only have a few more moments, the committees, how do people become a committee member?
Well, the 14 people that are on the committee at this point, they join the NAACP.
That's number one.
The chair of the committee, then we have every 2 years, we have an open process where people who are interested in the committee have an opportunity to join the branch and sign up for what committees they want to be a part of.
That's it.
Our branch currently is running 8 different committees. Theater is one of the committees. We have a movie screening committee, AXO, veterans, health, industry, labor and industry, home financing and whatnot. So there are a number of committees that we have, but every 2 years, and coming up this year will be elections for officers. Who knows? There may be some talented person out there that says, I want to be the next president of the Beverly Hills Hollywood branch.
Because you've been the president how many years now?
Probably 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah. And really, it was not my intent. You know, I came out of the aerospace industry. But in my college days, something moved me towards theater, and I considered myself somewhat of a college theater actor.
Okay.
Well, I grew out of that and went on to got my degree in business administration and went on to do other things. But I was drawn back into the theater world by a lady by the name of Sandra Evers Manley,
yes,
who at that time was president of this branch and knew a little bit about my college days and whatnot, and said, Ron, come and be a part of this. You know, we think that your participation. I licked a lot of stamps.
Yes.
You know.
But you got the job done.
But we got it
We're
done.
running out of time. I need you, please, one more time, date,
Sure.
place, and time.
I really hope that your viewing audience comes and visits with us at the Ebony Repertoire Theater, March the 6th.
It's coming Sunday.
From 3 to 7 o'clock.
All right.
We're going to have the red carpet VIP reception from 3 to 4. We're then going to have the press conference and announce the winners.
All right.
So we want all of this viewing public out there to come and join us, to come celebrate with us theater and all the joy that all of these actors, producers, and directors have put into entertaining all of us and keeping black theater alive.
Thank you. I want to give special thanks to Ren T. Brown.
Ren T. Brown is a great person. Ren has said, Ron, what can I do to help you?
Yeah.
Let us come together and have this show at the Ebony Repertoire Theater. You can't ask anymore for that theater world to come together.
That's right.
We want to again also thank Sandra Evers Manley, who said, you know, I'll find some money to work with you to make this work. We want to thank for prior years Bernard Parks,
yes,
who has also been a great funder of the program, and we hope that his spirit goes on in the current supervisors, in that Herb Wesson, Kern Price, and the other gentleman Harris, also as giving in terms of keeping theater alive. We hope to have them all there.
Yes.
We hope that all of them will be able to talk and share good experiences and help us keep theater alive in Los Angeles and across the United States, where our actors and actresses perform.
Thank you, Ron. Thank you for coming in today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
You and I will both be there. Both Rons will be there.
We'll certainly be there,
Certainly
and we hope that much of your audience is also there. Look for us, participate, contribute, and enjoy theater for all that it's worth.
Thank you. Thank you for staying with us today. We've had two wonderful guests. We've had Mickey Stevenson and, of course, Ron Hasson. This is Ron Brewington. See you next time. Thank you.